Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Come on in, Panther fans. We're coming off a bye week. Just when you thought that there's no way you could lose, Baker Mayfield lost this bye week as he got released by the Carolina Panthers. Tonight's show, Baker Mayfield bottoms out in Carolina. You're listening to the C3 Panthers Podcast. My name is Tony Dunn. It's the longest running Panthers podcast on the internet, and we appreciate you being a part of the show. We're here every Tuesday night live at 9 p.m. We want your calls tonight at 252-228-5098. Cody Lashney in the house. Welcome back to the podcast. No losers here on the C3 Panthers Podcast as we went and raised over $1,700 for the Bradley and Nikki Bozeman Foundation. It was fun hanging out with you doing it, Cody.
Oh, man, listen, I'm so proud of the C3 family. Came together, did a good thing for some children in need this holiday season, supporting a Panther player and his wife's foundation. It was a great time, man. You know, we had the bye week. There was no Panther football. We got to enjoy some NFL red zone, catch up on some other stuff going around the league. But, man, we're back to Panther football. We got Seattle Seahawks up on the schedule coming up. But the big news that everyone's here for, no more Baker, baby. Baker has officially bottomed out. I feel so vindicated. I was never a fan of this man, and he flamed out in epic fashion. Dare I say, worse than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is the starter right now. Our hopes depend on Sam Darnold. Tony, we're going to have a crazy show, but we're going to have a great show, as always, with the best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. You know him and love him. It's Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel, Dakota, D's Ill Skills, JD864, Jeremy Clancy, Josh Rodriguez, Joshua Hall, KG73s, Kinfolk NC, Michael Johnson, Padawan Panther, Panther Pickle, Panthers Are Kings, Shane Reed, the Cardiac Cat, Tim Estes, Troy Carter, Underground West, and the man, the myth, the legend, Tim Tizzy himself, Tony Dunn. It's a Tuesday night. And nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
Wonderful stuff coming for you this evening. Some around the league. Ron Rivera ties again. We'll look around the league a little bit tonight, but we've got big news. Obviously, Baker Mayfield being released, and the Panthers decided to part ways with him and field a team right now that the roster I saw was listed on ESPN as Sam Darnold and PJ Walker out. So they're rocking with Sam, no Baker in the fam anymore. We've got some other things I think that's what other news is there just to tease out there that we were talking about. Maybe some Jeremy Chinn chasing kind of some numbers that would put him in the same vein as Thomas Davis or Luke Kuechly. So a lot of fun things to talk about tonight. CK, the man with the golden pipes, welcome back.
Happy to be here. Happy to be talking about the Carolina Panthers. Bakerless. It's a very weird change of pace from what we started the year out. I know it feels like it was yesterday, but we were going through the list of the games before the season started, saying what games are winnable now that we have Baker. And some of us were like, we could get 10 wins, 11 wins. Like I could see it happening. And here we are in the midst of another disappointing season, somehow in the thick of the race, no longer having to deal with Baker Mayfield being absolutely inept. But he is going to the Rams, and that's the news I think that is interesting enough to talk about because he very likely could be starting on Thursday night, which is a quick turnaround for Baker. But if he's able to go over there and do any semblance of show any semblance of being a good quarterback, it's a heavy indictment on Ben McAdoo and his ability to call plays around what's going to be the strength of your quarterback.
Steve Wilkes, Greg, said that he was asked by somebody, was Baker Mayfield's time in Carolina a failure? He said no, he wouldn't describe it as a failure, but just that it didn't work out. Baker Mayfield's gone, but the Panthers have the Seahawks coming. They're heading to Seattle, and what Wilkes also said is that this team is not yet to do this, and that's win on the road. So, Greg, we're coming off that charity bye. We're coming off a win. Panthers are trying to get one in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what to expect because it seems like Seattle has kind of cooled off from what they were at the beginning of the season, but they're also not a walkover team right now. I mean, it's just shocking. It's like CK said, the culture shock for me. Like, I would have lost a lot of money at the beginning of the season if somebody would have told me, if somebody would have bet me that Baker Mayfield would have been cut from this team before Sam Darnold. I would have lost a lot of money.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. But like,
I didn't even think that if Matt Corral wouldn't have gotten hurt, I could have seen a scenario where Sam Darnold wasn't even on his team.
Sam Darnold or PJ.
Yeah. And CK's been saying that for a while.
What do you mean wasn't he on this team before Corral got hurt? Or you mean he would have been cut sooner?
Yeah, he would have been cut before week 1, probably.
If he was hurt, and if he wasn't hurt, maybe we go forward with Sam Baker and Matt Corral and ditch PJ.
Yeah.
So it's funny how the more things change, the more they stay the same. Here we are with Sam Darnold as our number 1 and PJ Walker as our number 2. And by the way, do we even know the status of PJ's health?
That is kind of funny. That you're actually just exactly back to where you started?
Out of all the changes that we made, drafting Matt Corral, going get Baker, and everything is just the same.
So they took everything Matt Rhule did and just yanked it right out.
And what was your question, Cody, about PJ?
Well, do we even know if PJ's healthy? Like,
he is.
What happened?
He's the backup.
So if Sam Darnold goes down, PJ is good to go. Because I was worried that we don't even have anyone behind Sam.
It's gonna be LaVisca Chenault, bro.
Yeah.
It's just Wildcat the entire time, dude. Like,
hey, okay, nice. Man, we did it in 09 before. We did it before. Why not?
Sure
22. We do it again.
Hey, listen, if that were to happen, if one of these guys went down with an actual sustaining injury, I'm not, now that Matt Rhule's not here, I would advocate for a Cam Newton return at that point in time. Not now,
God.
But if we didn't have any other options.
Cam don't even play with the Carolina Panthers on Madden.
Yeah.
He playing with
I
Green Bay.
I saw him this morning.
I'd never seen. I didn't know he was doing this. I just learned of the Cam Newton YouTube streamer.
Cam ain't
now.
playing football no more. He's playing Madden, dog.
He's been playing Madden his whole life. He's always been talking about it. So it's interesting though. Just kind of like these circles that are coming around, or these it's just an interesting thing. I've seen Cam smoke a cigar, playing video games, and streaming, as particularly just being in a world where we're involved in streaming and things. It's just kind of a weird overlap. I almost felt like this world was for us for a while. And now the real sports stars, they look, McAfee is just made $1 bazillion doing ultimately what we do, I mean, and like, what I mean is just like democratized media, democratized conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the number's 252-228-5098. Smash thumbs up button, be a part of the show. We want to hear your thoughts on the Bakerless Carolina Panthers, the coming of full circle of Sam Darnold and PJ Walker are back at the helm, and Carolina's prospects against the Seattle Seahawks. The number's 252-228-5098. Don't forget, though, this show, actually, you know what? Let's put it this way. Baker Mayfield may have gotten cut, but you don't want to cut your balls when you're taking care of your junk, right? And that's why you should use Manscaped products. Manscaped is the leader in the below the belt grooming for men. I'm telling you these products, and I don't know why I keep yelling at, like I'm doing spin at the computer screen so much. But these products like the lawnmower, the weed whacker, this is Cody Lack's joint for his ears and nose. This wonderful bag that will come in the premium package, man. This manly bag by Manscaped. But you know what the best stuff is? The stuff that's in the bag right now. That is the crop preserver, ball deodorant, bro, and the 4.0 lawnmower. Don't cut your balls like Baker Mayfield gets cut from the Carolina Panthers. Use Manscaped products. Promo code Panthers will get 20% off your order. It's a great time for the holidays to protect your little drummer boy, right? Manscaped.com. Use the promo code Panthers, 20% off and free shipping. They say it's limited time. If you don't like, right? We got the good deal for you. Go to Manscaped, support the podcast. Cody, let's jump into this show.
Let's do it. Let's jump into this Baker Mayfield conversation. Cause man, this is a funny one, man. At least to me it is. Cause again, look, you know me, I'm a showboat. I feel so vindicated. I never saw through, or I saw through the facade. I feel like that was Baker Mayfield. Everybody wanted him to be 2020 Baker, but it didn't turn out. It did not turn out for him, Carolina. And here in Carolina, the Panthers have released him, allowing him to go on waivers. And the former number one overall pick, Baker Mayfield, was claimed on waivers today by the Los Angeles Rams, per league sources. The Rams now inherit the remaining $1.35 million on Mayfield's contract. Mayfield is expected to fly to LA by tonight and could play Thursday night versus the Raiders. Jeremy Fowler reported a source said that the Baker Mayfield release was mutual, as Baker Mayfield asked for his release and the Panthers honored that request. He just simply wasn't in the plans for Carolina. And the last sad little bit, the Rams were the only team to place a waiver claim on Baker Mayfield. Shout out to all my Baker bottoms, because now we are Baker bottomless, baby. No more Baker Mayfield. I'll just pitch this to each of you guys. What do you make of Baker and his time here in Carolina? I know Tony kind of said before he's hoping for the best for Baker. To me, it's don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. What say all of you?
I'll tell you what. Go ahead, CK. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, honestly, obviously, I'm not wishing ill will on anybody, but I remember when we first traded for him. I went back and I watched that little life of Baker and how he got to the to the NFL, and I remember, stating something to you guys like, honestly, it feels like Baker was a villain. Just the way that he carried himself, planting the flag on, in Ohio State. It's just a lot of little things like that. And a lot of people like that swagger, but I mean, it just felt like he was constantly making enemies. And I know Cam did too in a lot of ways, but like what he did was like almost to more disrespectful than anything. And I remember thinking that early on. So, I mean, I'm not as upset as I didn't want us to trade for him at all anyway. So, I mean, quite honestly, I'm all right with this. I think that I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt for a few games. I thought he would be better than he was, but it turned out that he was just worse than what anybody could have ever told me he was. And so, yeah, ready to move on. He needs to be on another team and not be, on come on, man, because he's headbutting offensive lineman without a helmet.
Yeah, I was all in on Baker whenever we got him. I mean, I was very hopeful this is going to be the answer. I'm at the point now where just like everything that comes up next, I want to be like, yes, this is it. This is the guy. This is the guy. And eventually I'm going to be right. That's kind of where I feel, because we've been so wrong. It's just so funny that this news, I cared so little about this news that I barely heard or read anything about it. Baker's gone. I just don't care. It's so different from how I felt at the beginning of the season, and it's so weird to say that, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
Let me see
Go
if I
ahead,
can
Tony.
open this. I'm trying to
Be the
open
voice of reason.
image. Well, one is I think that this is a smart business move by Baker Mayfield.
Sure.
And I mean, obviously the Panthers clearly knew that they're not going to go back to him. So this is an opportunity for him to find a home beyond Carolina, right? Like, I mean, if he
Sure.
goes to a team and even if he starts 3 games or 1 game or even just plays as a backup or doesn't play at all and just meets a coach, learns the playbook, could lend himself towards having some sort of job next year. And I don't think that the tape that he put out in Carolina does that, right? So he would have a better like what else can he do to ruin his prospects at this point? The funniest thing though I saw, I put this up real quick, is I saw somebody on Twitter say this. They said Baker Mayfield got released before I got my Baker off the leash t-shirt before it came in the mail.
You know what's funny is like it's so the conversation I think that's worth having is he was going to be third string. That was what he was told. That's when he asked for his release based on what the reporting and what the way that Steve Wilkes almost told it as well. It wasn't until he knew that he was going to be the third string that he said, like, listen, I number one, when you look at what you have out there, when you saw what happened this past weekend to quarterbacks with Lamar Jackson, with Jimmy G, with the fact that Matt Stafford is out there, with the fact that Trevor Lawrence looked like he took a pretty bad knee injury that, somehow he's able, I don't know if there's been an injury designation to him yet, but it looked like it was pretty brutal. And so, I mean, when you're looking at the landscape of
Trevor
things,
Lawrence.
Yeah, that's what I said. What did I say? Something else?
No, I mean, I'm sorry. I thought you said Jimmy. I thought we were talking about Jimmy G.
Yeah, I said Jimmy G, Trevor Lawrence taking that hit to the knee, and then Lamar Jackson having a sprained knee as well. It's certainly, a smart business move to your point, Tony. But he went to the Rams. I don't know that he's going there to compete or even, I mean, he's not going to have Cooper Kupp. They're just now getting Cam Akers back involved over there. And they're going to be without so many people in that defense. I mean, Aaron Donald, and I don't know that they have the necessary weaponry or even the offensive line to keep him in a position to succeed. Matt Stafford was struggling because of that exact reason.
If you look at Baker Mayfield, like, he's going to a worse football team right now. They are. Look at Tony. They are what your record says you are, and the Rams right now are a worse football team.
Did they have 3 wins?
Yeah, I think they have like 3 wins. Yeah, they're like 3-8
That's it.
or something.
You're
like
telling
that.
me they're only 3 wins? I don't know.
Yes,
I think
look it up.
It may be 4, but it's pretty dead. It's down there pretty low. The funny thing is, looking back on last year, they're the Super Bowl champs. Last year, we were kind of laughing about how the Lions lost that trade, which we kind of knew they would. It doesn't look like they kind of won it this year. Let me look at Jared Goff
not at all.
in Detroit. Like, it looks like the Lions won that trade now.
But they're going to be so upset when Baker Mayfield gets in there and starts overthrowing receivers by a mile, starts double pumping the football, and pump faking one too many times, having it batted down at the line of scrimmage, and then he's always.
I know he was so bad in Carolina.
The Rams are 3-9, by the way.
They are. Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah.
Where should he go? How about that? Where do you think the best fit for him
to be a starter
right at this moment? Because you get how many games we got left? Say 5 games left for most teams. What would be the best fit for him? I mean, you got the Ram. I mean, he went to the Rams, the 49ers, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the 49ers, because you don't. I heard rumors that maybe Jimmy G isn't injured as bad as they thought. But then they have Trey Lance and waiting. I don't know. I mean, this
Yeah,
is
but
probably
like it would
just as
just
good
be
of
for this
option for
year.
him
They're
as any.
8-4 right now. Here is the thing: is this is the I gotta play this for y'all. Do you know who the Rams have basically said they passed on Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, whoever we're talking about, Baker Mayfield, right? He made it through waivers, or maybe the Rams picked him up before he got to the 49ers. I wonder what the waiver order was. But somebody said that the 49ers have chosen the most, they call him Mr. Irrelevant, right?
Yeah,
Purdy.
the
Yeah.
last pick of the draft.
Yeah, he was
Brock
the
Purdy.
last pick of this past year's draft.
Yeah.
And they passed up the first round pick, the very first pick of another draft, basically, for the last. They're like, we'll just roll with Purdy.
Yeah, but
You
he
know what I'm saying?
played
The
good.
last pick is they're like, we'll see what we got with him next week. So
He played well though. They liked his performance.
And they have some weapons too, man. Like, you don't have to have fantastic quarterback play in San Francisco. They've got some serious weapons.
Let me see if I can play this here.
I think it's the Niners. Oh, sorry.
This was Roger Sherman was asked if the 49ers should go after Baker Mayfield.
You do not bring him in. No.
Sherman's like must-watch TV.
You do
I
not.
love him.
You do not bring him
Always
in.
have loved him.
No, you do not. You do not bring him in.
Yeah, but do you bring him in?
No, you do not. You do not.
I mean,
Wait.
He only said you do not like one time, but then
they repeated it. Yeah.
like Jim
Played
Rome.
it
It was
over
on the
and
Jim
over.
Rome show, and he's like,
Wow.
"What do you?" And he just did this for like 4 minutes. And Jim Rome is always awesome, and he's just the biggest sarcastic asshole in the world, which I love him. And he's like, so you're trying to tell me Baker Mayfield can't pick up you wouldn't let him take your daughter to whatever, and I'm like, you do not. What would you let Baker Mayfield do right now, actually?
Well,
He's a
is he better
backup.
than any starting quarterback, anybody starting in the NFL right now? That's the question.
No.
Think about White is up in New York. You got Purdy in San Francisco. Like any of these guys who are back, and who's Huntley in Baltimore? Is he better than any of them?
Would
I mean,
you
it's
let
sad
him
that
host
we
the
can't-
charity drive with you?
You do not
Is he
bring him
better
in.
than Cam Newton?
Sherman's like a must-watch TV.
You do
I
not.
love
Yeah.
him.
You do not bring him in.
Always.
Would you, Greg? Would you let him help you remodel your bathroom?
have loved him.
No, you do not. You do not.
CK, would you let him photograph a house with you?
Yeah.
You do not bring him in.
Do you bring him in?
No, you do not.
Broke the cycle.
Sorry.
I feel like he could help me sell. Like, I feel like he would be the type of guy who'd be a really good salesman. Like,
Hey,
he-
does Baker Mayfield read stupid super chats by a South Carolina fan?
You do not. You do not.
You do not, dude. You do not. And by the way, there's no one by the name DJ at Clemson anymore. So I have no idea who you speak of by Chocolate Espresso.
I hope he comes to ECU.
Really? No, you don't. You probably don't.
Why?
I don't know. You might be regretting that.
Our quarterback's
he-
done anyway, and like we're a small school, like we can take that. We'll take that. We'll make a run with this dude. I mean, not for a national championship, clearly. Like we just trying to get on the.
I hope it goes to y'all then, man. ECU Pirates, baby.
Okay, what's so Baker? That's enough about Baker for right now. What else is up here?
So this caused a lot of stir online, and I figured that we would kind of mention it today. It was reported a couple of weeks ago that before the start of this season, the Panthers were very, very high on Will Levis, the quarterback out of Kentucky, who by most metrics was very underwhelming this year. At least if you compare him to the hype and the expectation that there was around him. Now, apparently, it has been this Twitter account ripped it from an article. I'm learning that apparently mentioned that Tepper was interested in Will Levis before the start of this season. But I figured it'd be an interesting discussion because it doesn't necessarily mean that David Tepper has cooled on his initial evaluation, especially since you have.
What is he out there evaluating anybody, man? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
he liked Justin Herbert when Justin Herbert was coming out. Apparently, he really
David
liked
Tepper didn't like Justin. He
Fields.
didn't know nothing about Justin Herbert. Marty
I mean,
Herney liked Justin Herbert.
I think that especially in his first 2 years, he was having people coming to him, delivering him information all the time. And there was a contingent of Panther scouts that really liked the idea of trading up to get Justin Herbert. But apparently there was a lot of rumors that he was really into Justin Fields last year as well. Knowing that we have passed on a quarterback the past few years in a row, I mean, what do you think? Maybe David Tepper is still thirsty for a quarterback, Will Levis. As of today, the Panthers have the number 6 pick in the draft. And to be honest, if you want a quarterback like Will Levis, that's probably where you need to pick him up. So are we believing this? Do you believe this? Is it just kind of rumors and hearsay? And do we think that this is even a possibility for the Panthers?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. I mean, like the thing I just don't know is if David Tepper knows enough about college football or any football to just do more than what I would do, which is like, oh man, I saw this guy, he looked good. Why don't we give him, and people are talking about him on ESPN and NFL Network or something, maybe. So we maybe heard somebody talking about him, and then he went and saw one of his games. He was like, this guy looks the part. So I could absolutely believe one of these dudes watching college football and liking a dude. I just don't think that David Tepper was evaluating Justin Herbert. And of course he wants a quarterback.
He wants a shiny new toy.
Mm-hmm. We all do. It's not just him.
I mean, I think he was evaluating them.
Pick damn fucking Pickett at 6 or whatever this past
I think
year.
he was saying that too, wasn't he? Yeah. I mean, I think he was evaluating them, but he was just doing the due diligence that everybody does when you look through those top quarterbacks and the ones who are prospects. I mean, if you're not evaluating all the top prospects, you're not doing your homework anyway. Man, it just feels like if you're going unless you have that 1 or 2 pick, I feel, you're just wasting your Matt Corral draft pick, because like I'm almost to a point to give Matt Corral a chance, but it depends on what Sam Darnold does for me. I don't know how I'm going to feel next year, but it, like I said, it just kind of feels like a wasted pick if you end up, I want to say, settling for a Levis, because I don't know enough about college football to make that judgment. From everybody that I've heard, I haven't heard anybody rave about how this guy is the must-have guy. But I haven't heard that about a lot of quarterbacks that have come out of the college too that have ended up being really well. So I really don't know what to expect.
Is he in the wrong system, Cody? I saw somebody say that. I don't know.
Well, he's in a pro-style offense, so he does take
so he's
a
in
lot
the
of,
right system. Then.
Yeah, he's in the right system, so he does take snaps from under center. However, they are, as Panther
they just
Pickle,
fired their offensive coordinator.
As Panther Pickle, who's in the chat, would say it, they're a John Fox offense, in that they run the football and they really don't have too much of a passing attack. It's another one of those situations that happens so often in the draft where you have a very talented football player on a team where they lost a bunch of their starters the prior year to the NFL. They did not have the type of receivers. They did not have the type of offensive line. So this year, compared with last year, Will Levis's numbers kind of went in the tank compared to what they were. He dealt with some lower extremity injuries, so he was not as mobile as he was the year before. The year before, he looked like one of the best dual threat quarterbacks that you've ever seen. I'm talking about jumping over people like Josh Allen. I mean, he really is a physical athlete, but we're going to have to play this song and dance where, okay, how much of the deficiencies that we see on film of Will Levis are correlated to the offense that he played in and the lack of talent around him? Because this is a similar conversation to what happened with the Josh Allen coming out of Wyoming or a Justin Herbert coming out of Oregon, who had all the traits, had all of the things, but never quite bore out on film all of those types of plays that you would want to see consistently. So it's going to be a tall task for the Carolina Panthers to evaluate this quarterback class because, and I think we've come to know this by now, there is not a number one quarterback that is just a cannot miss prospect in this year's draft. They all have their plus side, and they all have a very reasonable list of flaws. However, when you're talking about Will Levis, it is possible that his physical upside, his potential, and his ceiling are probably higher than any other quarterback in the draft. Whether he lives up to that, who knows?
Would you say that if him and Malik Willis were in the same draft, how would you put him? How would you put him in last year's draft of where we had Pickett, Willis, and those were the two? You know, and it was not a consensus number 1, 2 there but it was like sometimes people wanted Willis, some people wanted Pickett, some people wanted the guy that went to Atlanta.
I feel like he would probably be number 2. I think Pickett being a Heisman candidate and
do you think he'd be ahead of Malik?
Yeah, and plus, even though they both
let's draft this motherfucker.
Even though they both have all the physical upside, I would say that because Will Levis played in the SEC and he did play against better competition, that you're going to be able to kind of nudge him out a little bit. I do think Malik Willis probably had some more big-time throws on film in his final season than Will Levis did this year. I don't know. The dude has a
Cody. They need to get you in as a consultant, bro.
They really do, man. I would be able to. I know next franchise quarterback, man. I
think the question at this is at the end of the day, when it comes to picking a quarterback, this year, and sometimes unless you have one that is like of a Trevor Lawrence type stature in Cody's mind, the big argument against everybody's going to make is, oh, you draft him too high. It's like if you could get this guy in the 3rd, we would love it. But, oh, you draft him at 10, so we hate it. And I just need to know. It doesn't matter if you draft him in number 1 overall or 18 overall. If he turns out to be the guy, he's worth it. If you turn out to get a starting quarterback in the NFL, I don't care what pick it is, 121, 202, was worth every damn bit of it. The question is, can this guy be it? I don't know. I think this is, what isn't he big? Like a good size? Like
he's 6'3", 235 pounds.
Yeah, that's pretty good for that's an NFL player body.
Yeah, and he can run. Like this guy might be able, if he's healthy enough, when he gets to the combine, he might be able to run a 4.4. Like, dude, okay, think of Taysom Hill, but with a much better arm than Taysom Hill. And
I like that.
Yeah, this is kind of what this guy is. He's a little bit bigger. He's kind of strong. And basically, if you put Bryce Young's decision-making and pressure evasion into the body of Will Levis, it'd be the perfect quarterback ever. But that's not
awesome. Like if you could build him on the game.
Yeah. But that's just not.
The number's 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, be a part of the show. You also can help support the show by becoming a C3 super fan for $1.99 a month donation to the show. You get the cool tags, the loyalty badges that you see with people in the chat. You also that have the cool faces beside them. we will continue to level those up as we get more super fans, and you get special emojis, which we're going to have to kind of update now that Baker is out. We're going to have to find something else, maybe like a Baker getting kicked out the door or something to that effect. So help support the show any way you can, but the best way is just to be a part of it. Call in, be a part of the chat, and we thank you for all of our supporters and all of our listeners. Somebody sent us a message on Twitter and said, man, listen to your podcast a ton. In fact, you know what? I need to pull this up real quick. I'm going to show it. See if we can get this. Deserves this. This is from Billy at Panther Fan 2222. And if I can share screen tab, here you go.
Oh, my bad. I got you.
Hey yo. Dueling. We're fighting over the buttons here. As he said, C3 Panthers Podcast, y'all keep me occupied for hours at a time when I'm driving the truck. Thank you for all you do. And he's got us. We're number 3 most listened to podcast on his Spotify list. So you can subscribe to the show on Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts, and be a part of the fam. What's up next, Cody?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to start us previewing this matchup. I know you had a question as to what quarterback we prefer between Sam and Geno. And we can start with that, or we can, I feel like one of the more interesting matchups going into this Sunday is DK Metcalf versus JC Horn. And JC Horn is having a breakout year, man. I know a lot of us were concerned about him maybe having some injury issues, but he is a shutdown corner. And I'm interested to see how we deploy JC Horn against DK Metcalf in a battle of their offense versus this Panthers defense. Geno Smith is having a fantastic year for the Seattle Seahawks, much better than Russell Wilson. So, I just I feel like this is one of those bigger tests for JC Horn on the schedule, because DK Metcalf is a freak athlete, 6'4", runs a 3.5, or a 4.35. The dude is just a monster. So, what are we expecting from this matchup and just in general from the Seattle Seahawks?
Has JC Horn faced anybody this year with that kind of size? Any number 1 wide receiver? I'm trying to think of the big guys.
This has been his toughest matchup this year.
Did he? Would you say that they faced Mike Evans and Chris Godwin's? I mean, I know they're not playing like extremely well this year, but
was he in?
Well,
that
no, I'm
game?
asking. I wasn't sure. I don't know what the big
I
guys
wonder
are.
if
You're
he
right.
was
Mike
even
Evans
playing
won.
in that Tampa game.
So check it out.
Who's
This
the best guy matchup?
I actually just found it. The JC Horn. This is his numbers against the best receivers that he's played this year. Amari Cooper, only 21 yards allowed, 2 receptions. Sterling Shepard, Michael Thomas, Marquise Brown, Deebo Samuel, Drake London, T. Higgins, Olamide Zacchaeus, and Devin Duvernay. And so far, he's absolutely been shutting it down, man. So, hey, you know me, I'm going with my guy, JC Horn. I feel like DK Metcalf is their primary passing attack weapon, at least downfield. And I think Horn should be able to lock this man up. I think this is going to be where our defense lives and dies, is JC Horn's ability to protect that, that side of the field and stop Metcalf from going off.
I love G baby. I can hear him saying. I can hear his voice saying.
I don't even want to hear that from G baby, because he thinks that Dante Jackson is better than JC Horn. Get that lame shit the fuck out of here.
Who's
man.
the best player since he said this? Because in some ways he's kind of right. It's like them receivers ain't shit.
Amari Cooper's not shit.
Who's the
Shepard's
biggest? All right, who's the most impressive stop on this list for you? Number 1.
probably Debo. If you had from all the playing this year and all the players you just listed.
He ain't been that good this year though. Has he? He hasn't done a lot this year.
He's not been a top 5 receiver, top 3
wouldn't,
receiver like he was last year, but he's still top 10. I think. I
would
don't know. I really haven't
say,
looked at stats. I haven't paid that much attention.
knowing that Jamar Chase was out when we played the Bengals, I might even say T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a beast, man. Ask me how I know. I have him in fantasy.
Okay. You're right. Yeah, 50 catches, 569 yards, 2 touchdowns. Is what he's got. I mean, not like great, not bad for Debo. I was thinking I was thinking Marquise Brown if he wasn't hurt at the time. You know, if he was fully healthy, because like Kyler loves him. It's interesting. Our defenses played great against. You know what? You probably got to. How did they score Brazil? Oh, it was Joe Mixon. That's right.
Yeah.
How did T. Higgins only have 18
Wait,
yards
that number
and they
doesn't
score
make
8
sense.
million points against us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they ran the ball up and down our throats. But you had the question that you wanted to ask.
Oh, well, before we get to that,
Yeah.
real quick, is one other thing about this game I thought was interesting. First is the Kenneth Walker, the third, the running back for the Seahawks, who's been killing it this year. He has suffered an ankle injury in the past game. They believe he could be an option this week going forward, but that might be a good thing for the Carolina Panthers. And one of the things, though, that's interesting about this game was Steve Wilkes was asked about it going forward, and what he thought, I guess, if the Panthers had a chance to make the playoffs was what he was asked. And kind of in this last press conference where he was talking about Baker being released. And I'm going to paraphrase it because I didn't grab the clip. But he said, of course, I think we can make the playoffs, like as in I believe my team, we can win and this stuff like this. But he said, I'm only worried about this week or one game at a time, without saying the cliche one game. He just said whatever he said. And then he goes, we have yet to beat a team on the road. And we go into a place for a team who's in the lead or in the hunt for their division. They're a real playoff contending team. And kind of like if you want to be one, you got to beat one. And like is like he was saying, yeah, I believe we could be a playoff team. But if we are going to be that, this is the type of game we need to go win. So I thought that was an interesting way of kind of, drawing some parallels between the Panthers' chase for a playoff perspective and a team that we think in the Seahawks is playoff bound, sort of, and who has kind of more earned their bones this year in that discussion. And that would be a notable kind of notch on the belt for Steve Wilkes and this Carolina Panthers if they can go into a hostile Seattle team. It's kind of been hot and take care of business for the first time on the road.
And we're going to see seeing who Steve Wilkes is off of a bye, what kind of momentum this team has, if it lost any, with anybody, with everybody kind of being on vacation. It's really going to say a lot about our team. And we're traveling to the West Coast. We're going to be in a 4:25 time slot. There's a lot to know, man. Like, we're going to really see what kind of fight this team has going down the stretch. And that we kind of faced a setback last night with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating out the New Orleans Saints. That's never a good thing because we needed the Saints to win. But, I mean, we're still only like 2 games out of first place. So every single one of these football games matter. We cannot take our foot off the gas right now.
Let me ask you this, CK, is Carolina Panthers, not only are they kind of on that parallel course, I guess, or at least the 6 degrees of separation that Wilkes is talking about with this kind of team from the Seattle Seahawks, the Carolina Panthers are going to need a a quarterback next year to start the season, whether they draft a quarterback, whether they want to give Matt Corral a chance or what they would think.
Right.
But it seems like logistically they have to have some sort of veteran presence that at least they think could start day one. Sam Darnold is coming in here as Baker Mayfield's been released and vying potentially for that opportunity to be a bridge quarterback for the second time for the Carolina Panthers, which was the funny part about that. But Geno Smith is out there slaying it this season with like a 77% completion yard, having a great season and making a case for a veteran presence. Who would you rather have next year as that guy, Geno or Sam Darnold or the field?
I like Geno is the prime example of a guy who was never given the right shot, right? Like a guy who went to a really horrible situation. They never did anything to make his situation better, and he was constantly the guy who was blamed for it. And it just so happens to be the Jets. So, like, at the end of the day, I'm not of the mind that Sam Darnold can't be like Geno Smith in that way. If given an actual true opportunity, the dude can come out here and actually do some great things. Geno Smith if anything, Geno Smith is the poster child for what we were trying to do with Sam and Baker. And unfortunately, we just didn't really do what we were supposed to do there. We did not give him an offensive line to help him thrive. We did not give him the weapons to help him thrive. We had an injured Christian McCaffrey who our entire offense was based around, right? Like it's not something that was conducive for progress for a guy you're trying to build his confidence up. So that's a really tough question. I don't want him to come in here and be a starter, but I would not mind having him as a backup.
Yeah. He's having a really good year, but when it comes down to it, he's a Jacoby Brissett. He's a Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's a Nick Foles. He's an Alex Smith. He's a journeyman quarterback, a guy that can give you what you need and have hot streaks, but is never going to be one of the best in the NFL. You know, he's playing talented this year, but he's played for a long time. Now, maybe this does work out for him in Seattle, and maybe he does end up taking that next step, and you always can. But as of right now, he's that guy. He's that journeyman quarterback that, I wouldn't mind having him on my team rather than the field. You know, I mean, depending on how Baker plays, not Baker, how Sam plays throughout this year, I couldn't answer whether I'd rather have Sam or Geno, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hard part.
He can finish the year out strong. Sam's in the same situation. He finally has a good offensive line.
You give Sam a DK Metcalf, a Tyler Lockett, and a Kenneth Walker on top of having a decent offensive line. I mean, what else could you ask for? Like, if you're a quarterback, you literally went into a jackpot situation.
Yeah.
Cody, is Sam Darnold in 7 years, is he just going to be white Geno Smith?
I don't know.
Are they the same person? Just in different iterations. Think about this: is a guy who started with the Jets, had zero opportunity, or or had a tough situation, was asked to do a lot, pressured, without talent, then meandered around the league. Actually played for the Jets. He had 2 years where he played for them and actually started games. 2015, 16, 17 as a backup, goes to the Chargers and has no games started, but only 5 games on the roster. I thought he was with the Giants. Yeah, he went 3. He started 1 game for the Giants and ended Eli Manning's starting streak. And that also, how about this? Another 7 degree or 6 degrees or whatever the saying is, of separation. Do you remember who the coach was that sat Eli Manning and ended his streak and went with Geno Smith?
Ben McAdoo.
Ben McAdoo, that's right. I'm gonna put in Darnold. I want to see this. Is well, who would you take? Who would you rather have? All right. So the one thing I worry about this with Geno is I feel like it's just going to be getting another Teddy Bridgewater. Right? And
Teddy keeps
that
adding to that
is
list. Yeah.
overpaying. I
Yeah.
would say overpaying is this is what his season stats are. Listen to his season stats this year. They are 7-5. No one saw the Seattle Seahawks coming out like that. 7-5. Teams playing well all together, largely because of Geno. 72.5% completion rate. 3,106. He's got 3,169 yards. He's yards per attempt is 8.1. So he's not just dinking and dunking this sucker. 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. My worry about this is that it's not a worry, is that like Geno's having the year where if he goes and signs, if he re-signs with the Seahawks, if he signs with us or whoever, he's going to command at least a 1-year deal at close to legit starting money at the very minute, and so he's not going to come cheap in a sense, right? I mean, you don't make the mistake of a multi-year deal like you did with Teddy Bridgewater, but still, he's going to definitely get $22 million for a 1-year deal. My thing is that does he regress towards the mean of that? If his career completion percentage is 62%, he really hasn't played a ton. He played 2 years with the Jets, and then he played this year with the Seahawks, and the other has just been filler games, right? So is his completion percentage somewhere more closer to 64, 65 maybe percent? Still got a pretty good completion rate for his whole career.
Yeah.
He has 56 touchdowns career to 43 interceptions. So you're not, I mean, it's going to be hard for you to get Geno that you're getting this year.
Right.
Like for him to replicate this year would be like,
I don't think, I mean, based on what he's doing now, I don't think he's getting out of Seattle.
yeah, that's a good point.
And unless they have a crazy offer come their way or some kind of draft pick that falls in their lap, I have no reason to believe why they would get rid of him either.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, beyond not getting along with people, I don't know why Russell Wilson would even want to leave there. Like I said, look at the talent they have there. It's crazy. I don't know.
Who?
Seattle. They've got great
you
great
said
wide
Russell
receivers.
Wilson. You mean
Russell
Geno.
Wilson,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard the Seahawks had a shitty run defense though.
They have one of the worst in the NFL.
That's good for us, right?
That is
Yeah.
good for us.
And by the way, we're talking about Geno Smith and Sam Darnold. Geno Smith, like what CK said, this has been the first year that, like, and he's been through some bumps and bruises, but he's grown, he's matured as a quarterback, and he got a legitimate chance this year.
Mhm.
And I would like and hope to assume that Sam Darnold has also grown and matured as a person and as a quarterback. And, this might be that opportunity for him to do it. I mean, listen, we have ranted and raved all year that this is finally the offensive line that we've been dreaming of. We can run the football and we can pass protect. And we know what Sam Darnold was able to do for 3 games last year with, a similar kind of dynamic. Granted, that fell off a cliff. But also, especially right now, you're asking for a much smaller sample size from Sam. He has to be good the next 5 games in a row. And if he can do that and not make too many mistakes, limit turnovers, and just run the offense efficiently, I mean, this is as good of an opportunity as Sam will ever get to revitalize his career, to the point that if we had to make a bet on what quarterback had the better chance of genuinely becoming a starter in the NFL between Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, I would say Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Absolutely has a better
because you know why you get to say that though is because that that Baker has lessened his chances since the beginning of the season. Right? That he's had a lot of opportunity and he's failed to capitalize on that. We can say the odds are in Sam Darnold's favor because he's yet to have his opportunity. So there's clearly an advantage at this point because he has 5 games or 4, whatever is it, 5 games, 4 games to prove himself.
Right.
A better. All he's got to do. Look, he's already halfway there. He got a damn win.
Yeah.
I
I think he can do it. I think that, like I said, if we can limit what Sam has to do in the offense, limit turnovers, run the ball effectively, and look, he hit some good downfield shots. That big pass to DJ Moore and throwing it to the back of the end zone on the touchdown pass. So he can do it.
Well, look, we just made out the case that he has the best opportunity he's ever had. Offensive line, offensive weapons, coaching, everything, right? So can we officially say, or can we actually pin this on him after this 6 games, if he looks horrible, that he's a bust?
Yes.
Is that enough to call him a bust? Because we've just said he's had the best opportunity. He's got a chance to go to the playoffs and win the division. He's got a good team behind him, a good offensive line, a great defense. I think that I'm not saying he has to win all the games and make the playoffs, but if he looks horrible, if he looks like last year's second half Sam Darnold,
well, you can't go.
You guys say he's a bust, right?
A bust, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I would say bust. Yeah. I mean,
first round pick, can't play, not starting in the NFL.
Not just a first round, top 5, number 2 overall.
Good point.
That's the argument I would make in this situation is if he comes in and he's not able to show any sense of improvement whatsoever. Yeah, I mean I'm fine with saying bust
he
at that point.
did in his first game already show improvement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but a lot of people said that same thing about his performance last year with the first 3 games too, right?
Mhm.
So I'm not ready to put that type of
yeah, you're right. You're right.
I need to see consistency. That was always his biggest thing, in my opinion, was consistency, and he has been, one of the. I need to see this happen for consistent, 2-3 games, and go from there.
All right. Slowly start to build trust back up.
Right.
Yeah, I think this is. I don't know. It's how much I want to. I feel like this is Will saying, going on the road, winning something like this would be really beneficial for the Carolina Panthers. But somehow the damn Bucks and the Saints, they almost did what I asked them to do, which is tie.
Yeah.
17.
Damn
16.
near. They damn near did.
Jeez.
I didn't even think about that.
Damn Tom Brady, man.
They So the problem is that at what point is that if the Panthers lose this week against the Seahawks, does that kind of make it out of reach because the Bucks won this past?
If
week?
I think it would be out of our hands. I think if we lose to the Seahawks and we win out, we can still make the playoffs, but it's not completely in our hands. Yeah.
I don't say that we're out of it just because I don't trust Tampa to win out.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. You have to have somebody else lose. Yeah.
That's not.
But still, they would need to lose out.
I think if they lose 3 of 4 and we lose 1, I think me and CK were talking about this before the show. It's complicated.
We're gonna need some things to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's saying. All right.
Yeah,
but that's all I got to say about the Seahawks game at this point. I'm sure I'll find some more stuff to talk about on the Friday free for all, and throughout the week.
Yeah, well, we only have. Greg, do you want to jump in to this giveaway?
Yeah, man, we can do that. So we did our Bradley and Nikki Bozeman Foundation, the C3 Panthers charity week drive. That was long. I got to shorten that thing up. We did the bye week drive this week, charity drive, and it was fun. It was successful. We do $1,783.
Yeah. I don't think it's gone up in the. Yeah, I think that's about right.
23 total donors. Here's everybody who donated some money. There were also, I think, 4 anonymous donations. So I figured if they put their name up there and didn't put anonymous, they wouldn't mind me putting their name on here. So I want to thank everybody on here who did this. And I did say that for every $5 you donated, that I was going to do a drawing. I'm going to do 3 rookie autograph cards for this one. And pretty much everybody got 5 drawings. So I put, everybody's name in my little R2D2 right here. I'm going to draw some names out here real quick. I originally said the Luke Kuechly rookie autograph was going to be the first one I gave away. So I'm kind of go with this linebacker theme here. So I got a Luke Kuechly rookie autograph card here.
Yeah, show it up one more time.
Oh yeah, here you go. And this one is number, I can't remember. I'll have to read the number off for you. This one's number 223 of 499. Then I have a John Beeson rookie autograph card. And this one is 28 of 100. And then I have a Shaq Thompson. Autograph card. And that one is 522 of 800. So all serial number cards, all rookies, all autographs. All
you know what? And you're giving them in the order of their coolness too.
Yeah, that's kind of what it goes. So I'm gonna start off with the Luke Kuechly when I took mine and Tony's and Cody's name out here. Because we don't need to win.
Yeah, I kind of think of those from at least from mine as not being from me, but from the podcast.
There you go. All right. So first name, and once you've been drawing once, I'm not gonna give 2 to one person. I'd like for everybody to win. So let's see. First name is Joey Esquivel. So Joey's gonna win the Luke Kuechly rookie.
You should just send him like a card to somebody else. Send him.
I'll send him a Kelvin Benjamin. Yeah. I've got a bunch of Joe Adams rookie autographs. Goodness gracious, I thought he was good.
Congrats, Joey.
So, hey, yeah, congratulations, man. Anybody who wins, just hit me up on Twitter or hit me up somehow. You can communicate one of us. Give me your address, and I'll pay for shipping and everything, and I'll send it out to you. All right. So number 2 here is going to be Supreme Leaders. Yeah. So there you go. He's going to win the John Beeson card. So all right. So hit me up, man. We will get that out to you. And then the last card here, and I'm gonna try to do like a drawing every year for the charity thing. That'll be kind of fun. Third one is gonna be Panther Pickle. So Panther Pickle wins the Shaq Thompson rookie autograph card. So Pickle, hit me up, man. Congratulations. How can they hit you
up? What's the best way for them to hit you up? You can also send me an email at carolinacatchronicles@gmail.com. I'll forward it to Greg.
Yeah. Or if you're on Twitter, just hit me up DMs at the BatDaddy52. If you follow me, you should be able to hit me up. So, but yeah, congratulations, y'all. And we'll do some more stuff. I like kind of doing stuff like this.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Greg, for doing that, and thank you again for putting all this together. I think we should call it the C3. The C3 charity buy event, and then we'll colon it in the future. I don't know. We're gonna have to find a way to get all that information in a way that is memorable, and sayable by the person saying it.
right,
sayable if that's a. So look, we want you to be a part of the show tonight at 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. Thank you guys for your support. I think you had something to do, CK, before. Actually, no. I thought Cody had something to say first, and then we're gonna go do some prize picks.
Yeah, we are. So, look, man, 125 people watching, and they're excited about the Seahawks game, and they're excited to listen to us talk Panther football, but nothing, and I do mean nothing, gets them as excited as hearing the voice that makes them moist. Shame them like the little sons of guns they are. Talk to them, Big Papa.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. There was a guest that wanted to do the subscriber shame this evening. He's a bit shy, so we're going to turn the camera off. He's going to be coming in from a remote area, so it might be a bit of delay, but I hope this works out. And I appreciate every one of you guys. But first, here's my friend.
Boom, 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 boom.
I don't think it's working.
Yeah, I don't think it's working either, CK. Lots of silence.
Lots of silence. Oh, he is shy. Imagine how shy he is. He's so shy. He doesn't want to be shamed. He forgot to turn on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I hear you.
All right, let me try this one more time.
Bring him in. I know these connections can be funky on the internet.
All right. How about now? I'm going to try to give it an opportunity for the one and only Morgan Freeman to come in here and show you guys how to hit the like button, how to be shamed. The C3 Panthers Podcast is and will always be the longest running Panthers podcast on the face of the planet. And you should always hit the like button when you come in here and watch them talk about the Carolina Panthers. Morgan Freeman out. Subscribe to Chinn.
Morgan Freeman done hit you with the subscriber shame. Whoa, man, we are stepping our game up. Real celebrities calling into the show to shame people. Dude, you gotta love it, man. 122 people watching, 63 thumbs up. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live, man. Hit that notification bell so that way we can whip up on the YouTube algorithm and get seen by as many Panther fans as possible. Tony, you want to do prize picks?
Guess what, folks? It's time for the prize picks. That's right. Each and every week we try to preview, depending on, because sometimes, like, depending on the week, the time of the week, if the Panthers game is available. But we always look at the Carolina Panthers, but we do it on the best, my favorite daily fantasy sports website app. PrizePicks.com is a way for you to have fun in over 32 states, including North Carolina and South Carolina, playing daily fantasy sports and make some real cash. We've been playing it all year. It's been a rough week for Tony. Oh my goodness. Even like that, they just said brick. My browser is a crashing on this. But Prize Picks, man, you go there. And what you can do is identify players who have basically fantasy projections, and you need to tell them you do multiple. Go ahead, bring it in. We'll fight over it. You can do multiple players where you have to do at least 2 players from different teams, and you can do up to 2, 3, 4, 5, even a 6-pick flex pick is available now on Prize Picks. And what they do is they ultimately, you can make some real cash. I've had a little trouble this week, but I'm coming back. Tonight I got an NBA joint in because they had the taco on Tuesday. I always get lured in. I love tacos, and I love Prize Pick tacos here. I went Luka Doncic over 26.5 points. Actually, I need Greg's interpretation of this, because a lot of this is me just liking numbers and potentially if a player could have an opportunity to meet them, and I have no anything about this sport. Luka Doncic, 26.5 points was the Taco Tuesday pick. You got like a 20%. Is it Doncic?
Doncic, yeah.
Doncic. Yeah. I said Doncic. Doncic. Tim Hardaway Jr., points, rebounds, assists. So all combined 20.5. And
I think all those are safe, to be honest with you.
Jamal Murray, points, rebounds, assists, 28.5. So we'll be looking at that. So that is, I put in tonight. I did the flex pick, by the way, because I just need to get I need a first down. I don't need a win right now. I just need a first down on Prize Picks. I played $20, and if I get all 3, I'll get 45. If I get 2 out of 3, I'll win 25.
Nice.
So not bad. And but what I love to do is play the NFL, even though I've been going for the gusto, guys. I've had some tough luck this week, but right now, guys, they've got a special deal. They're partnering with Justin Herbert, I believe. For some reason, they've identified him, and you get a free square this week, guys. Boom. Justin Herbert, free play on PrizePicks right now. He just has to throw the ball 1 yard, and you will get that one. So let's go jump over to the Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. If you go to PrizePicks, they'll match your deposit bonus up to 100% for the first $100 if you use the promo code C3. So not only do we love to play PrizePicks, they sponsor this podcast, and you can help us by going and signing up. Over 75 people have signed up for PrizePicks using the C3 code. Let's pump that number up. Set it up on your wife's name. Get the bonus. Use the promo code C3 and help this podcast go forward. DJ Moore, let's take a look at these numbers, guys, going into Seattle. 53.5 yards, 55.5 rushing. Love it. Love that number right there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Same. I do
Yeah.
too.
With that run defense, I like him having 55.5 yards rushing. That's really good.
All right. And now, yeah, I mean, that's easy. You better go to PrizePicks right. Look, PrizePicks right now. Think about this.
Where do they have Geno at?
Say you hit that right there. You put $20 in. All you got to do is basically get the foreman right, and you turn your $20 into 60 playing daily fantasy football sports. Where they got Geno Smith at 245 yards passing.
Taking the under on that. Ooh, well. Mm-hmm. Who's he played defense-wise? Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Tampa Bay, Arizona, the Giants.
If you believed in our defense and what we've been able to do recently, I don't know. Maybe
on the road. On the road.
I know,
they're
man,
gonna have
but maybe
to pass
this
the ball a ton if Walker's hurt.
Maybe this is going to be the game where he doesn't hit that mark, man. I don't know. But then again, what do I know, you know?
What about that matchup? How about this is whether or not you believe in our defense. Do you believe in JC Horn?
I do. I really do. Man. I think JC is going to shut him down.
But 65 yards is tough, man. That's 2 decent catches. Like you can hold the 2 decent catches, still have a great game, but 65 yards ain't much.
Well, so far, when JC Horn has been on an opponent, they have yet to get over, I believe, 30 yards.
But how do you know he's going to be on him every play?
That's true. I mean,
that's where those numbers are misleading. When they put up the JC numbers, we don't play him, man. He ain't trailing people. They must be talking about only plays against him, or else it's just false numbers.
I think that's when he is on those people. Those were the numbers that.
I think the stat is when it's thrown to the receiver, he's directly.
Jeff says he ain't touching 245.
I honestly don't think he will either. Quarterbacks have not been throwing for a lot of yards.
Have we given up over 245 yards to a quarterback all year?
I wish you could look up our defense.
I can look up our defense.
No, but I mean, like on PrizePicks, like if our defense.
All we got to do, like what they project them.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, if anybody would have done it, it would have been the Falcons.
Maybe
in overtime. No, they didn't throw the ball none in that game. 253. That's an overtime game. Who else would have done it against the Panthers? Maybe
the Bengals.
Oh,
they
definitely
ran
the Bengals
like crazy.
What about or the Niners? Maybe
no. Bengals a 206.
206. What about the Niners? Or I guess did I see the Niners on there? I guess I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. I thought we lost one.
253. Garoppolo.
So it's right at that.
What
threshold.
happened in that game?
Also, remember that he has all those yards after catch receivers.
Yeah.
So
But it still counts as passing yards. I
yeah,
mean,
that's what I'm saying though. So even if it dinks and dunks it and the receiver takes it 70 or whatever, that's
You know
still
what? What if we do this? What if we take both of them?
I
you
don't
take
think
We
you
the under
go
can.
on both of them.
less.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not opposed to it, man. Like I
Hmm.
said, I don't.
Tony, it sounds like you have some faith in the Panthers. What it sounds
Well,
like.
if you guys are saying we're right, if this is going to happen, it's almost like to think the way the game would go.
Yeah. Well-
And if we think Foreman's going to run the ball effectively, there is an opportunity the Panthers could try to ball control the game on the road
And everyone believes
against the team that can't stop the run, and you get a lower scoring game. Then you have their team. I think the only thing that makes this a problem is that they're more inclined to pass the ball without Kenneth Walker being their running back.
Yeah.
That kind of is going to funnel their game plan through the passing game.
It also depends on how the game's playing out too. If they're down 2 scores in the fourth quarter, they're going to be passing the ball a lot more than they're going to be running. You know, I mean, it could just play out like that. I don't know.
That's a
Well, I
good
don't
one. I
know.
would say just go. Yeah, I mean, hey, roll with this squad, man.
I'm way more comfortable that less than 245. The less than 65.5 is where I'm caught up at. But I mean, it's all possible.
Do it.
How
That's
much you
prize
put on?
picks right there. $10, 4 picks if I get them right. Well, actually, only 3 picks at this point. The problem is we just went all in on one game. You know what? We almost should just like go look at the NFL real quick and see if we can find somebody. You probably only play that Herbert once. I'm betting.
No, I think you can do it up to like $50 or something like that. So
okay.
So if
Okay.
you spent 10 on that one, I think that's the number.
Ooh,
Because I remember the first week I tried to do that with Tom Brady with a 0.01 yards or 1 yard, and it would only let me play so many of them.
why does it just keep adding the same people? Why
I don't
didn't
think you
clear it.
submitted the entry before. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
Oh, you guys want to see what happened to me this past week?
Yes, please.
This one sucked.
Oh no.
Taysom
man.
Hill, I got it right. Got Tom Brady right.
Where did Dalton fall?
Dalton went over the 207. I got killed by him. This one hurt too. I feel like Zeke crushed it. Derek Carr fell 3 yards short of his number. And then Kittle gets a team where their quarterback goes down in the first quarter, doesn't touch the ball again. I only had 2 catches because of the Purdy. I am on a losing streak, homie.
Yeah.
I need a win, bro. I need a win. And hopefully we can monitor this. We're going to look at this. This is what, by the way, you guys use the promo code C3. Play prize picks. It's fun. We got to monitor this. When's this game tip off? 10:05. They ain't scored no points yet. Oh, Jamal Murray already there. Is the prize? Is the Taco Tuesday pick fishy? Are those fish tacos? Did I just get a fish taco?
It's definitely there to lure you in, but it's a great bet. But look at this is how funny it is. This is how good Luka Doncic is. His Taco Tuesday pick, look, when we do it on a quarterback, it's like 0.1 yard or 1 yard. His is 26 points. That's his discount is 26 points. That's how good this guy is, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, Doncic
His
is
discount
insane.
is 26 points.
I don't even give a damn about basketball, and I know that Luka Doncic is
He's insane, man.
crazy.
Yeah, man. I went. What's crazy? It's also crazy is I took he's the Dallas guy, right? Dallas.
Yeah.
I took the less than on points, rebounds, and assists one game early in the season. I was like, man, 47. That's so much. This dude got like 90. I mean, he got 47 points, rebounds, and assists in like the first quarter. It felt like in that game, this dude was just destroyed. It was awesome.
Yeah, there shouldn't
all right,
be any reason he's not MVP if it's season stopped right now.
why has he got no
Like,
points right now then?
I
Prize
was trying to
Picks,
get him
promo
on.
code C3, 100% deposit bonus on your first time up to $100. It's been fun, so much fun. That's why we love Prize Picks. Let's go next topic, Cody.
Oh yeah, so last charity stream, we did some this fun fantasy Panthers draft
Oh yeah.
with some of the members of our C3 fan base, and this was the teams that we ended up coming down to at the end of our Panther draft. Team Professor, that was Tony and Blick who constructed this team. Drafted Luke Kuechly, Sam Mills, Jake Delhomme, DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, and head coach Steve Wilkes. Codizzle Allen and Drew, I believe it was,
Yep.
drafted Steve Smith, Julius Peppers, Thomas Davis, Jonathan Stewart, John Gross, and Ron Rivera. And then me and my boy Kev, White Chocolate Espresso, we draft, and yes, that's right, we're Team Tiger Cox, as per Greg. We drafted Cam Newton, Greg Olson, Musa Mohammed, Brian Burns, Charles Johnson, and John Fox. Now, as we go into the cat calls, we're asking you. That's right. We just posted the poll. I just posted it in the chat right now. Who had the best all-time Panther draft? Team Professor, Team Codizzle, or Team Tiger Cox, baby. You already know who to go for, baby.
I
Let your
think y'all won the
voice,
best name for sure.
yeah, let your voice be heard. And Tony Dunn, we've gotten to that point of the show. While our fans are voting, why don't we go ahead and play some cat calls and see what these people had to say? So let's do that.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
What's going on, C3? Tyler here. Hopefully you're having a good evening. Definitely excited about them letting go of Baker Mayfield. I think it's best for both sides. Baker was QB3. Obviously, definitely Baker's career is in jeopardy, at least starter-wise for sure. Might be just be for backup moving forward. But he definitely has a chance to do something in LA. I don't think he will, but this is the only way for him to have any hope going forward with him being a starter. I agree with CK. If he does do well in LA, it's a huge indictment to Ben McAdoo. And I don't think we're talking about Ben McAdoo as much as we should, and just as a Panther fan base. Because, yes, we've had bad quarterback play, but I just feel like the play calling, I just feel like what we have, offensive line as well is really good. We have a good running game. I get quarterback is important. You need consistency at the quarterback position, but I just feel like the offensive coordinator position has been so bad this year as far as helping the quarterback. He's definitely not a quarterback-friendly play caller. Obviously we know he's going to be gone at the end of the season, but that's where I'm really intrigued to see not only who's going to be our head coach moving forward, but who's going to be that offensive coordinator developing Matt Corral and possibly a quarterback that we draft in the future. Something to think about. But definitely think Baker is not going to be doing anything in LA. My brother-in-law, I live out here in Orange County, California. I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. That's why I'm a Panthers fan. Keep pounding. But my brother-in-law is a LA Rams fan, and he was pissed and not happy that they picked up Baker Mayfield. I mean, he pretty much their season's kind of done anyway, but he wasn't excited at all. So he knows how he's been in Carolina. We'll see what Sam Darnold does against Seattle. It should be an interesting game. Definitely they were both playing well, but haven't been playing that well recently. But still a good football team. So excited to see how we play. But hope you guys have a good night. Catch you on the next one. Keep adding.
Tyler, appreciate the call, man. And that is a good point that NCK did bring it up earlier. If Baker Mayfield does have some semblance of success in Los Angeles, yeah, that is a pretty big indictment, I guess, on Ben McAdoo. If that does happen, the problem is, do we even see that happening? I mean, Baker Mayfield going, it's past the midway point to the season. He's going to a team that already has a ton of injuries. They're on the downslide. You have a coach in Sean McVay who runs a very complicated West Coast style offense. I just don't know that this is even an opportunity for Baker to even be successful. Granted, if he does start, I kind of think it's out of necessity and that the Rams just really have no other choice. But what do you guys think? Does Baker have any shot of being successful at all this year?
Not this year, I don't think. I think even if he could come up to be a decent quarterback, just the turnaround's too quick right now. First of all, he's going to play this Thursday. Yeah. I mean, I guess it really just depends on coaching. Yeah, but football's basic. I mean, you can have basic plays, and you don't have to have But based on what I've seen this year, there's nothing that makes me believe he's going to be a good quarterback this year. He's having a bad year. He may not be garbage. He may not be done, but he's having a bad year.
I'll tell you what, this does solidify. Okay. It does solidify that OBJ will not be going back to the Rams.
Yeah, that's a good way to get him to come back.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's go to the next call.
What's up, C3? It's Anthony from Charlotte.
What's up, Anthony?
Well, Baker got released. Not much to say. I mean, he was trash this year. No question about it. But you know what? I wish the best for him. And, I mean, the Rams are a shitty team. So I don't really see anything big happening from him going there. I think he's mainly just trying to find some stability in terms of putting some at least decent film on for coaches and stuff to look at maybe the following season. So, yeah, I mean, there's that. And as a Baker fan, I'm still going to support him. But in terms of our team, the fucking Saints are so annoying, man. They just, I don't know how they hold Tom Brady to 3 points until the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. He puts together 2 drives. It's like, man. And, I mean, Mark Ingram running out of bounds on that play. Let's just talk about that for a second. Going back to Greg's theory, because he's a conspiracy theorist on this podcast.
I'm glad he's mentioning this.
Mark Ingram should have not ran out of bounds. Nope. I know he was injured, but it totally looked like he could have made that extra effort. And then the next play, on 3rd and 1, you throw a slant to a random receiver instead of just running the ball with Alvin Kamara. It's like, man, what are they doing? It's almost like they were giving the game to Tom. They wanted him to come back. It was crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. Seattle this week. Got to get a win. I mean, it's going to be tough now. Tampa Bay is up 2 games. I mean, we really got to beat Tampa Bay. I mean, we really got to win out. The best we can finish is 9-8. So, I mean, if Tampa wins 4 more games, it's wraps. So we really need. Tampa Bay, they can only afford to lose 1 more game. So I mean, we gotta really step it up, man. So those are just my 2 cents on all the news. And last thing I want to say, Baker was trash, yada yada yada. But I think in an offense where, like the Rams, you're probably not going to see it because they're a dumpster fire. But I mean, in an offense like the Browns.
I was going to say the Browns. He got cut off. I do wish the best. I kind of hope. I mean, I want Baker to go and do well. Like, I mean, I don't want anybody to play poorly. Like, I don't dislike Baker for what he did in Carolina. Like, I didn't want him in the just is.
Do you think he will be successful?
Not with the Rams. I mean, obviously, if you're telling me they're that bad, they probably have a tough schedule.
Yeah.
No Cooper Kupp.
What were you gonna say, Greg?
I was gonna say I'm glad he brought up that conspiracy theory thing because once again, those are the things that run through my mind. And even on sports talk shows today, they were talking about Tom Brady getting breaks. Like that play was mentioned so many different times, and I've heard people on a lot of different shows ranking this as Tom Brady's greatest comeback ever, which is the craziest shit I've ever heard because I watched him come back from down 28-3 in a Super Bowl in the third quarter. So I don't understand how this could be the greatest ever.
Right.
But it's just crazy how much news it brought out this week. Like I'm telling you, man, I'm so glad somebody else has something about a conspiracy theory other than me because he must have been thinking it, when he saw that. It looked very suspicious.
Yeah, weird stuff. What you got, man? Ron Rivera got a tie this week. There's some weird stuff happening in the NFL. But you know what ain't weird? Ron Rivera getting ties.
Yeah. He's known to get a few.
I wish that someone should fine him for getting a tie instead of him fining Cam Newton for not wearing a tie.
Oh my God.
The number's 252-228-5098.
Hey guys, it's the growl that makes them howl, aka Joey the Blind Panther. Baker Mayfield released from the Carolina Panthers. Good riddance to that dumbass. He done let the door hit him or the good Lord split him, as someone in the chat said, and he's now on the way to LA where
he doesn't look like
he ain't going to be able to save the day. I had to figure out some of the rhymes there because I just had to. But unlike Luke Kuechly, whose rookie autograph card I just won.
Nice.
And by the way, Greg, put your email in the chat, and I'll email you my address.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm really happy that Baker Mayfield is not a burden to this team. My thing is, how do we go about not giving Cleveland shit for Baker Mayfield? How do we make Cleveland give us their picks for taking their baggage away, as they acquired luxury baggage in the form of a molesting man that, they should start doing at Cleveland Stadium? They should start, when they have like food and raffles, they should start doing it off the massage tables. They totally should. Just cause why not? And of course he beat his old team because they suck. And they were probably told to lose that game. If you're one of the people who believes the NFL is rigged, which I know some on this show are, and I ain't gonna go there. Never mind. But yeah.
Lots of
he's
conspiracy.
Not a part of this team, and I'm really happy about that. Really happy we were able to donate to a wonderful Panthers charity, because as Panther Nation, that's what we should do around the holidays.
That's right.
There are some fans who are very little talk or very little walk, a whole shit ton of talk. And I ain't talking about literally like Cody. I'm talking about, somebody who I'm waiting on his ass to call in and defend himself for what I said last Tuesday night. But I know he ain't going to do it. But that's beside the point. But by the way, Cody, before I go, you should do stand-up comedy. Oh, wait. Did you see that one coming?
Wow.
Oh God.
I guess that's my first joke. My name is Cody Lashley, and I'm a stand-up comedian. And then when everyone laughs, I'm like, "Ah, how dare you? That's ableist, you pieces of shit." Are you muted, Tony? I don't know if you're talking or not. Tony, are you talking? You're muted.
I think he is.
I am muted.
There you go. You pulled a
The
Greg.
funny part about this is I was the one that made a joke about him being blind, and he came after you, Cody. You're catching strays, bro.
I know. What the hell, Joe? But he did say he voted for me in the poll because he has to support other handicaps. So at least there's some solidarity there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the next call. The number is 252-228-5098.
Well, ain't that some shit? Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Yeah, no, I'm happy as shit that Baker's gone. And I'm not trying to be that guy, but Tony, I told you he was that fucking terrible. Like, I went and I saw him at practice up here in New England, and he looked like trash, man. And isn't that just a lesson to everybody, too? It's like, sometimes being patient just works out. Look at PJ. PJ went from being the guy that was going to be off the roster in the preseason to being the backup, to being the guy starting for a while, to now being the backup behind Sam Darnold. Like, if there isn't an instant where, or if there isn't a case where PJ could be named the starter again at the end of the season, like, I don't know any other case for that. Like, this, like I told you guys on Tuesday, this year has been a year, and, like, it just keeps getting more interesting. Like, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, I don't know what season I'd rather have, be the Houston Texans and be absolutely terrible, or be us and at least have some sort of entertainment out of it. Firing our coach halfway through the season, changing our starting quarterback 20 fucking times for a week 7. Like, TV show. Greg, you're on to something. Damn it. You're on to something.
Dude.
Hey, message me if you know anything about Hillary Clinton. Don't say it out loud, okay? You might get off. Like, let's get this information out there. All right, guys. Let the show keep pounding.
Keep pounding, man.
Big time conspiracy stuff.
I'm telling you,
really
man.
need to
People
know
notice.
about Bankman Fried. That's what we want to know. We want to know the deets on him, the man with the bad guy name who's ruined cryptocurrency, and now maybe the stock market after today.
That's the FTC guy.
Yeah. Oh, also related to Tom Brady in a way.
Yeah.
Can I just
piggyback on what Nick just said? Look, man, considering everything that we've been through this year, the quarterback carousel, the exodus of Fat Fool, Steve Wilkes' ascension to the interim head coach, I agree with Nick, man. This has been a fun season. I'm having more fun this season than I did the previous 2. I have no problem saying that. It didn't turn out, or it hasn't yet turned out the way we wanted it. But, man, there's been some really bad football games. There's been some really good Panther football games. But at the end of the day, we're still here. I go, sounding like Matt Rhule. At the end of the day, we're still competing for something, man. The Panthers are still competing for the division. We have something out ahead of us. We have things that we see about our team that we want to build on for next season. And I just think that it's been a great season, man. I've had far more fun this season than I did the previous 2. I don't know about y'all, but I definitely agree with Nick.
Do you know part of the reason why you feel better? May not be the whole thing, is because you know that no matter what going into next year, we're in a better position than we were coming into this year because there's no Matt Rhule.
Yes, right.
Like, that's the thing. I know I'm going to be in a better position because there's no Matt Rhule.
Yeah.
So
there's no Matt Rhule.
Yeah.
What do you mean there's no Matt Rhule?
In the world, he's saying that Matt Rhule is dead.
I mean, no Matt
You
Rule
mean this
on the
Matt
team.
Rule, Cody Lashley, haunting you from the ping pong table?
Oh God!
Is that his
This
wife?
Matt Rule?
Is that his wife?
Down.
Is that his wife?
Take it
Hold on,
down.
no. Can you take
That
down
is
half
not
of
his
that,
wife.
please?
It's Maverick's mom. Whoever he said, Maverick's mom for the win. Oh, guess what he's doing?
Recruiting.
He's out there. Fucking look at this. I'll take care of your boy. Lying to her, man. You know what? You know
Lying
what? She
to
kind
her.
of like lying to her, like her blonde hair is lying to us.
He's slipping
this.
her some cash. Get your
He
boy
brought
over
her
to the
out.
house.
He's like,
It's
hey,
probably
why
like,
don't
we did this
y'all-
all the time in the Panthers locker room. I'm really good at this.
Look at this, Cody. Yeah, exactly.
Rule's wife is the 4.
Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah.
I mean,
Did
he
you
may
see
still
the
be
thing?
shooting
I
up.
saw somebody tweet. Oh, I think I said this in the Friday free for all. Hold on, there's one other. Look at him. He's out on the recruiting trail. Look at these nerds. Look at this picture right here. Can you get a worse picture?
I mean, come on, wear
Look,
something other
this
than
guy
those
looks
shorts,
like
kid.
he's wearing a Christmas tree hat.
Yeah,
and it's
really.
a Christmas tree in the background. His shorts are ridiculous. His dad,
Socks.
and then guess who the biggest dweeb
Rule
of
looks
all
out
of
of
them
place.
is? It's
Matt
the
Rule looks
64
like
million
such a
high
dork,
Matt
dude.
Rule.
I'm so
He
happy to be
looks
here.
like such a dweeb.
Hold on, there was something I saw this. I just want to. God, has he been tweeting this much? Oh no,
Yeah,
this is from
man.
November
PR guy.
25th. Nah,
He's made like $70 million the other day. I'm sure he's got a PR
Dude,
guy.
he tweeted "Never forget," and apparently it was like a
I think we might
hot.
be getting fraud fakes.
But dude, so he tweeted "Never forget." I think that's it right there. I don't know. I can hardly see. But
Never again.
Never again. Right. So apparently it was like a Holocaust remembrance type thing. Like never again will we let this happen. But dude, past Twitter did not know that, and they just retweeted. They just retweeted the shit out of it, just absolutely flaming this man. Dude, some of the responses. God, some of them were hilarious. Some of them were just flat out mean, even by my
Man, like you
standards.
shame that man right there.
Yeah,
I can
dude. Like
see it.
people were going after that dude.
Does he look like he's
So-
standing on his tiptoes? Like, look at that
Look
picture.
at
Matt
this.
Rule looks
Look
like he's
at
standing
how
on his
bad
tippy
this
toes.
picture. Look at this.
I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Like,
It looks like he's like,
Yeah,
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I tried. I was worried about that with Deshaun Watson too, and I was trying to trade for him. And I told you I wasn't trying to trying to make the big trade. He said I would have made a big trade or gotten a free agent acquisition if he would have known that what the plan was shortened. He literally went after all of that, and they
Yeah.
just couldn't do it. He was like, "Oh, I would have lived in a world where I actually got Deshaun Watson."
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know.
At the end of the
At
day,
the
look
end
at
of the
this. Look at
day.
this. Oh, look at this. Psh, makes me sick.
It really does.
What a
Disgusting.
fucking nerd. And I don't care. You can be like, people are gonna come in. Nebraska people will come in, and people will be like, "Well, what you would look like a fucking nerd on the internet." So I was like, you know what? Fine. I am a nerd, but I'll call
I
him a
haven't heard
nerd too
from
to his
one
face.
Nebraska fan since the
Yeah.
news happened. They're the opposite of Oklahoma. After we got Baker Mayfield, dude, Oklahoma fans were lighting up the C3 Panthers podcast.
Right.
But not so much for Nebraska. Oh man, look at this.
Michael Davis.
Look
Oh,
at this. Mike
read this out
Davis,
and I got an announcement for him.
certified the man with a $35 love bomb. He says, I got a puppy on Sunday. She was shy, wouldn't do much, and wouldn't say much. I had the TV in my office today, and when Baker got picked up on waivers, she howled, ran around, and pissed on the floor. She's a very good girl. Hey, shout out to Michael
Hey.
Davis and the brand new little puppy, man. She
That's awesome, man.
she was happy that Baker is finally out of town. Appreciate you, Michael.
And
Greg
we're
just said-
happy for your patron saint donation. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
that was what I was going to mention. I forgot to mention it when we were doing the drawings earlier to Michael Davis, man. We appreciate everybody who contributed to the fantasy, to the charity drive, but Michael Davis was by far the biggest contributor.
Oh,
and I was hoping that I was going to pull your name so you get one of those cards, but even because I didn't, just hit me up however you can, man. I got a 12x12 C3 Panthers podcast decal for you. So let me know. Hit me up.
Perfecto.
Appreciate everything.
He put his Gmail. Greg.
Yeah, I put the Gmail for my show, for my other show, or the old one. I haven't changed the name of that Gmail yet. So.
No,
Shout out to Michael. You're the man, dude, and congrats on that cute new puppy. Tell us in the chat what kind of dog it is, man.
Dogs are great.
I just got a puppy not too long ago. Golden Doodle. It's like 5 months old. He's got to go get cut Thursday. Like his hair. Never had a dog where you got to get them haircuts. Yeah, first time ever for me. To be a second experience there.
I thought you meant them nuts was getting cut.
I know. That's 252. I've had plenty of dogs where that happened. The haircut's the scary part to me. 252-228-5098. Don't cut my hair. Don't cut Cody's hair. Call into the C3 Panthers podcast. Next call.
Hey guys, it's Lincoln out of North Alabama. So Baker Mayfield didn't even last a full season in uniform before he kicked into the curb, which is fine by me. It was a fifth-round pick experiment by the Panthers, and I don't fault them for that. I mean, we paid a lot more for Sam, but granted, Sam is still around, so there is that. I listened to the podcast about the charity drive. I donated a little bit as well. Very proud of you guys for doing that. Awesome.
Appreciate it, man.
Got the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see. If we can beat them, I will be excited because I hate the Seattle Seahawks, especially Pete Carroll. The guy is a brilliant football coach, but he's a lunatic in real life. Maybe if I can get on the Friday free-for-all, you guys can ask me why I call them a lunatic. I'll be more than happy to get on my soapbox. Other news, my Auburn University hired Hugh Freeze. I'm not happy about it for reasons. But I'm hoping that we end up keeping Mr. Wilkes, Coach Wilkes, on our staff. We'll see. What do you guys think of the odds are now that he's won a couple of games? And look forward to hearing you guys on the podcast, and keep pounding.
Keep pounding. Andrew Link. Not happy with Hugh Freeze as his new head coach. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, it's like we said. At least there's no more Matt Rhule. Your professional team no longer has to deal with that kind of incompetence. So maybe that'll offset your distaste for your college coach.
Yeah. See, more calls.
I think he asked, the question was, do you think we're keeping Wilkes? And I think that with every week his position gets stronger.
There's been a rumor floating around that the Panthers are very likely to keep Steve Wilkes. I believe Albert Breer went on a Twitter Spaces or did a live or something, and he was talking about the Panthers might likely retain Steve Wilkes. And I at this point, I think it's for the best. I mean, no matter what happens this season, the fact that we've even gotten as much out of this team as we have is nothing short of a miracle considering how it was going. And you get to have an off season where Steve Wilkes gets to, build this team as he would wish to build it as a head coach, with the quarterback position and just filling out the rest of the coaching staff. So, I mean, pretty much at this point, there isn't much that Steve could do to make me disappointed if he did end up being the head coach.
No doubt. Admirable job he's done so far. The question is, who are we going to get that's going to be better? And, some people think, Harbaugh's name has been out there. Yeah. And I don't know if you have the same fear that you had from a college coach. It's kind of like a Pete Carroll hire in a way. As a guy who's had success at both levels. I don't know. The number's 252-228-5098.
Hey, guys. Chuck from Elizabeth City, a.k.a. Carolina Sports Guy.
What up, Chuck?
I guess the only thing I want to say, Robbie Anderson left and hadn't nobody heard of him since. CMC's been traded, and all we hear about is, oh my God, how great he's going to do for San Fran. Like they're holding him back. Could care less. Matt Rhule, what an idiot. Enough said. But Baker Mayfield takes the cake. Because the one lasting memory I'm going to have of that idiot is a head butting everyone with a helmet, and he didn't have one. And I'm wondering if he's going to even play for the Rams because he should be in concussion protocol.
He's not holding back. Not holding back.
Nope.
All right. I guess, man. Yeah, over there. Everybody's sleepy. This one seems like a short call. The number's 252-228-5098.
Also, while it may be unlikely, like Coney is saying, man, let's go. Let's win out. Let's win out. Then Steve Wilkes can have the job. Let's make the playoffs. Then Bro can have it. Let's make the playoffs. Go against all odds.
So, is this caller saying that if we don't, he shouldn't get it? Is that what he's implying, that we need to win out for him? Because it sounded like he was championing for it, but then it kind of sounded like he said, like, let's win out, then he can get it. But I don't know. That was a little confusing. But yes, let's win out. I agree. I'm down. I'm on that train now. Let's do it. But I'm already on the Steve Wilkes train for next year.
I've been on that train, man. I want Steve Wilkes to win out. Hey, could you imagine how crazy it would be if we got to end our season with a home game here in Carolina? Like, after all this craziness that we've been through. And hey, that would be a great story for Steve Wilkes, where no matter what happens in the future, you can say that you were the coach of the Panthers and you took them to the playoffs.
Took the 1-5 Panthers to the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be incredible, man.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, this is going like my fantasy year. I started out 1-5 in both my leagues, and after this week, after last week, I'm in the playoffs. And if I win next week, I'm there too. The Panthers are following the same path, man. Just getting hot at the right time, starting slow. So Hubert Davis took the Tar Heels to the championship in their first
football
year.
for the first time ever.
Oh, dude, this is my first year that I've ever been
I'm coming for you, Cody.
Playing fantasy football. Hey, dude, I started 5-0, and now I'm 9-4. I'm the number 1 seed right now, so let's go, boy.
Let's do it.
Greg, I sent you something in the private chat.
All right.
Not private, but it's in Canva already started. The number is 252-228-5098. He's got a little bit more to say on the same thing, but he's got short calls. So
so sorry I called again. Real quick, my big Steve Wilkes thing was how his 3 wins were against losing teams at home, and how he's 3-4. I also wanted to mention, after the deflating loss to Atlanta, he got blown out 35-0 on the road the following week. So it seems like the head coach really had the troops ready. Not trying to be a Debbie Downer on my team. Just wanted to be quick and honest real quick. So, yeah.
Killed everybody. Boom.
Sorry, I'm trying to type with this thing.
Yeah, I was trying. Where's Cody at?
We're all trying to do 15 different things at once.
Are we? You're trying to do things too? Shoot, Lord.
Yeah, man. But
production, man. CK, what are you trying to do? Play video games over there?
Always, dude.
No, listen, I'm not even
Oh, I got something I want to talk about.
Do it.
Do you know that I saw something to the effect of, let me see if I got the stat pulled up. No, I got the stupid Matt Ryan crap pulled up still. Is I think Jeremy Chinn's like playing in his 237th game, and he can have it's either 300. I think.
Wow. You think he's played in 237 games? What the hell?
It's 37.
It's gotta be a record for a safety.
His 37th game, I think.
On his rookie contract. He's still on his rookie contract.
He's still on his rookie contract.
He's
the best. He got the opposite Bobby Bonilla deal. You gotta work for free. He's like he's a slave, man. If he do it, he's a dang indentured servant at that point. Here it is. Jeremy, look at me. I was just gonna make up all these numbers. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was about to try to paraphrase this tweet and say nothing accurately. Jeremy Chinn needs 46 more tackles. Let's figure that out to reach 300. So that means he's
at 254.
254 tackles, right?
He needs
right
like
now?
7. He needs like 6.5 to get there per game.
Jeremy Chinn has played 37 career games, not 227, but 37 career games. And only Luke Kuechly and John Beeson reached 300 career tackles before their 44th game as a Carolina Panther.
So he'll need to average
why does he have
7.
to write it this cryptic? Why can't he tell us? What does that mean? Luke Kuechly and they got it in their 43rd game?
I guess is what
or one of them is their 44th game. That's got to be something. There's no reason you say it must be before their 44th. So that means they both got it in their 44th game. Very kind of I'd like to work on some clarity there. But
So,
he needs 6.5 tackles per game. So he has how many games to go?
So
7?
right now, so he's had 37 career games. He's at 254 tackles, and if he does get to 300 before his 44th career game, yeah, that would only be 2 other players that have ever done that. That's Luke Kuechly and John Beeson. Basically,
I know. Who are they? You ever heard of them? I never.
Our man Jeremy Chinn is starting to reach that rare air, that rare Panther air, and that some of the greats have ever accomplished. So he's pivotal to our defense.
I tell you this. Who are those guys? I never heard of. Oh, wait a second. I did. Greg gave away signed autograph cards of both of those tonight to people who donated to, or the winners of the people who donated to the charity draft. John Beeson and Luke Kuechly. Both of those cards were given away tonight. We have one last call. Here we go.
What up, C3? Stacks chilling here. Just want to throw up and just kind of bring up something that I haven't heard yet. No one's been talking about the new beard. Sammy Darnold's rocking.
Fear the
I think it
beard.
could be the reason why we won. Hopefully he keeps that beard and we keep on winning playoffs, baby. Go Wilkes.
Go Wilkes.
Beards are very powerful. I derive a lot from mine.
That's right, man. Fear the beard. You know, I'm a firm believer that there's power in your hair. You know, however you can grow it, man, from your face, from your head, you know, you should celebrate the hair that you have, you know. And I feel like maybe, you know, without the beard, Sam Darnold just played cowardly. He was afraid of pressure. He was afraid of throwing interceptions. But now that he's got that beard, he's got that confidence, baby. He just needs some illustrious beard oil to keep that thing shiny and bright and full and healthy. And I'm loving it, man. I think that 100% has helped Sam become a better quarterback.
You were mentioning, Cody, that the one thing is that Matt Rhule, that the Nebraska people, we haven't heard anything from the Nebraska people.
Yep.
Right? Is that like we would have heard Baker and these people, they brought this crowd, the Baker Bros. Where's the Nebraska Cornhusker Bros, the Corn Cobbers, or the Matt Rules? Maybe it's because they found out this. They thought they were buying this guy. And what they actually bought was this moron right here who lost at a game of ping pong to this lady.
Oh, no.
He's a loser. That's what they got. They got a loser.
Yeah.
He can't even win at ping pong. He had a whole season to practice for ping pong. He brought her into his home field, his home court. He still lost. He can't. Matt Rhule, Matt Fool can't even win at ping pong, bro.
Disgraceful. Hey, you want to see something else that doesn't look great? Baker Mayfield wearing number 17 for the Rams.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, this is official from the Los Angeles.
Why didn't he, what was his number again? 6, 9,
6, which I think is the worst number for a quarterback. I don't know why.
Who wears number 6 on their team? He didn't get his number. They're like, we'll give you whatever fucking number you want. Whatever we got.
Yeah, he has no choice.
You're only gonna be here for 5 games, dude. Don't take
What
it.
if they? What was Odell's number? That's what I would have asked for.
Number
13. Oh, he's number 13.
That's what I would have asked for this year if it was available. If I was Baker, I'd be like, yeah, I'll sign with you for one number, $13. If you give me that jersey right there, and I get to walk out there and wear Odell's jersey on your team. Actually, probably that it wouldn't probably be a smash at Odell. It'd probably be a even more ridiculous than this. And did he really take this picture? Do you think?
Yes, this is it.
You don't think
I mean,
that's
they probably
just
have
CGI'd
1,000
or
pictures of him like
somehow?
that.
Look at this core.
Well, no, they said that he
You
was
think
going
this
to
is
be
a
in
real
Los
picture?
Angeles. Yeah, they said that Baker was going to be in Los Angeles by tonight. The news broke a long time ago. I'm assuming that he's been out there for a while. Yeah, I don't think it's nothing for him to stop by the stadium and throw the pads on and take this picture. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. All I know is this is officially from the Twitter account of the Los Angeles Rams.
He is. He doesn't look like a California guy.
No.
You know, that could have been Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. All right. That's it, man. Actually, I don't think we got. There are a couple of news. Let's just look around the NFL real quick. I want to do a little bit more of that in the show, and not take too long. But like we talked about, Jimmy Garoppolo's foot does not need surgery. They are going with Mr. Irrelevant at this point. The one thing though that stood out there, a story. There's 2 stories that are probably dominating the headlines. The most important probably related to the Carolina Panthers, or at least in some way, not directly related to the Titans fired their general manager, John Robinson, after 7 years. Now, Scott Fitterer is not NFL Network, then the NFL website. Once you click on anything, it automatically plays a video and the audio is always on. Why can't they mute the audio? I just heard my name. But they fired their general manager, John Robinson, after 7 seasons. The thing is like, I know this isn't directly related to the Panthers, but Scott Fitterer potentially, man, I guess if you see this guy getting fired, at what point do we think that Scott Fitterer's job is safe just by not hearing his name yet? You know, what date does he probably have to survive to? Would that be? If you're going to fire Scott Fitterer, you probably need to do it now if teams are doing that, right?
To be honest with you, man, I'm not in the camp of firing Fitterer because as much trash.
I'm not calling for his fire. I'm just saying is like, at what weight does he feel better about like this news right here goes like anybody that's a GM and got there and is worried about their job hears this and they're like, oh shit, I hope I ain't getting that call next.
I don't
But at
think
some point that Scott Fitterer's going to feel better if he maintains his job till say January or.
I get that. I don't know. I just feel like he's in a position where I think he's probably pretty comfortable with his job. I don't feel like he feels he's on the hot seat. I mean, we've been in some weird positions, but all in all, the team has gotten better, built young and stronger, and we have draft picks back. So, I mean, we've been kind of in a roller coaster ride with quarterbacks and signings and everything else. But in the end, we have a good defense. We fixed the offensive line. You know, we're a few players away from possibly being a legit team. Hell, we might win the division this year. Shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
Insane. The other news item that stuck out to me was Robert Quinn is getting his knee scoped for the Eagles, sadly, and placed on injured reserve, and they had just traded for him this season. So some news around the NFL. That's about all I got to talk. Oh.
Also, the general manager for the Titans being
We already
fired.
talked about that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
you were doing something. Doing something.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, no. Why don't you tell us something about it other than what I was just trying to say is that would there's some sort of relationship between well, I would just say is like if Scott Fitterer makes it to say January, like at some point he has to feel better about his job. Not better, but like safe. There's like it's gonna be too late to fire. So I would say this is the first head that falls in the GM block. If he makes it to say Christmas, he's probably safe. Probably a little late in the game to go try to get a GM. Like you should be trying to get that GM right now, right? Or you gotta wait to interview people.
What
after
does it
the season's
benefit?
over.
What does it benefit to get rid of him now? Huh?
Well, so I would say this.
Just a fresh
one
start.
one of the biggest catalysts that caused it was they traded away Brown.
Yeah.
What's the receiver's name that's playing for Philly now?
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, who's been really, really good for the Tennessee Titans, and then
for the Eagles.
Right, no, but I'm saying he was
he
good
was
for the
good for-
Tennessee
yeah.
Titans,
They
and
wanted to
then
be there.
the general manager traded him away. Now there's rumors Mike Vrabel never wanted to trade away AJ Brown. And Pat McAfee made a good point this morning. It's like, oh yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles, they're building, they want to win right now. Well, isn't that the same truth for the Tennessee Titans?
Yes.
And you're
They
going
won
to
the
trade
AFC
away one of your
title game
best
2 years
players?
ago.
Right. And then the
Yeah.
catalyst was Philadelphia that just played Tennessee. And
destroyed them.
Yeah, but
AJ should have had 3 touchdowns.
AJ
yeah.
Brown also had an incredible performance too.
Well, I heard on the radio today that Vrabel actually said a month before they traded AJ Brown that there was no way while he was the head coach that AJ Brown was going anywhere, and then a month later he got traded. So maybe there was some turmoil between the head coach and GM there.
I don't doubt it. Like, I mean, I agree. I think that they were 100% in win now mode, and I think that they just, I don't know. There must have been something with regard to him and the general manager or something that got them off to a bit shaky start or something because. Or to
well, they've been there. He's been there for 7 years.
Mean.
Oh yeah, man, like Vrabel's been there now for a while.
Yeah,
right.
Everybody loves Vrabel.
I can't remember who the last head coach was.
The dude Jeff Fisher. I think.
Was it Fisher? Was he the
Or-
last?
Well,
one?
they had
They had a young guy, didn't they?
Mike Mularkey.
Oh no! So they've had two. Somebody even before him, because he was the guy that got fired. Somebody got fired, and Mike Mularkey took over as an interim, and maybe have kept that job.
But remember, one of them they made the playoffs, and he was still fired. And I think that's when they brought in Mike Vrabel.
Maybe
it was Mularkey they fired.
It definitely
Mike
wasn't Fisher,
Vrabel.
no.
Hey, what's the name of the coach for the Lions? Dan Campbell. You know,
Yeah.
everybody loves that guy. Oh, he's a player's coach. He's a tough badass. Everybody wants to play for him. Dude, Mike Vrabel is who everyone thinks Dan Campbell is. Mike Vrabel actually is the man. Used to play. He's an actual good coach, and everybody loves to play for him.
It's cool to see actual players that I remember playing that are coaching now and being successful. Like I'm at that age where I see players that I remember. Hey, I remember watching him.
Vrabel played us in that first Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm. Believe so.
Yeah, he was with the Pats. Damn. Do you got anything else, Tony?
Lamar Jackson injury.
Oh yeah, he hurt his PCL, right?
They said days to weeks, which is very broad.
Love that.
That's basically like saying, well, when he gets healthy, he'll come back.
I don't got anything else other than that. I mean, I want to talk football. I'm fine. Look, we have the opportunity to ice some fools up and get out of here at a reasonable time. Sadly, I just want to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning and hang out with you guys. All right, let's ice some fools up.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It's the longest running segment on the longest running podcast. It's the Ice Up segment. It's our homage to Steve Smith as we tell someone to ice up, toughen up to get it together. Everybody's fair game from myself. I like to ice myself up. I'll even ice up my family. And I'll even ice up kids in Oklahoma that I ain't ever met. Take that. I've done it before. Real kid. Iced them up on this podcast. Never met them. It's our homage to tell it. Everything's fair game. What do you guys got for me tonight?
Speaking of icing up kids, mine is short and sweet. And dude, some kids are the devil. They're just the devil, man. And they want to see you fail at everything you do. And they want to see you miserable, especially this little shit on the top balcony.
This little shit. And then just walks away.
Dude, so apparently they're trying to transfer.
Move it down. Look at this TV. Look at this staircase they got. They got this stupid circular staircase
It looks cool though.
It does, but we got to move this fucking TV down here. What is this guy doing? Balancing the TV on the smallest railing in the history of the world. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a lot wrong with this. So it's balancing it on the rail. The guy's going down, and you see him. The kid comes up and either punches him or
nut checks him. Cup checks him. Cup checks him. It's called cup check.
And the dude just
Jimmy Depp.
Bang.
Dude, I think there was the sticker. Was the sticker on the TV still?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Is this staged?
No, this is real, man. I think it's real.
No, do you think this? Look, why is the sticker still on the TV?
It's probably brand new. Because they probably just brought it from the store. They were probably walking inside. Although I will say,
walking it up, not walking it down.
No, I don't understand. Well, that part maybe. I don't know why they would be. Yeah, they're walking it down. That makes no sense to me. Why does it have the stickers on it and they're walking it out?
That is good.
See, look, the guy's
solved an internet mystery. Aha.
See, the guy on the spiral staircase is asking for him to hand it to me.
Why would you hand it to him over the opening?
Say hand it.
Yeah, but how is he supposed to hand it to him?
Look at this. Hand it to me.
And the thing is,
all
too,
looks dumb.
With nowadays with a TV like that, that's a 65-inch TV. Probably that's probably 40 pounds. That TV. Like anybody should be able to lift that up by themselves. That's pretty simple.
No, look at that thing is big, bro.
I know, that's what I'm saying, dude. Have you seen new TVs? They're ridiculous.
Lift that up and say, hand it to me. Like you can pass it like a business card.
No, he should have done that. You're right. But I mean,
both of you would have to be carrying this and you would be walking it together down the steps.
They should have been. Yeah. They deserve what they got.
Look at this guy. Look, he had a cloth there. Look, he got this cloth.
Make sure it lands on the tricycle.
So I think this video is fake.
Could be.
But look
and we just played it 36 times on this show, so success.
More than that at this point. Yeah. All right, tell them to ice up your little evil kids.
Yeah, I'm icing up evil kids that randomly come up and punch you in the dick. Ice up.
I'm icing up fake videos.
Good ice.
Who else has got one?
I'll go real quick, knock mine out. So I listen to Woody Wilcox. This is my everyday show. I love the show, and the stuff they share on the show is pretty funny. But I got hang on, let me get everything ready here. So I'm going to show you the video, and then I'll explain the ice up after this. So let's see, share system audio. So this is a little girl who is waiting for the bus outside.
Oh, I saw this.
So now I have 2 daughters, and if you have daughters, this may be make your heart drop. This noise it does for me, it sends chills down my spine. It makes me want to go punch somebody, not like the kid, it sounds like they're getting hurt, but just watch what happens to it.
They don't know if it was rabid, but it sure was aggressive. A
It's just a
raccoon had to be
raccoon.
pulled off Riley McNamara's leg.
But watch the mother.
Her mom, Logan, rushed outside.
Picks the kid up
and
on one
grabbed the
side and
animal.
picks up the raccoon by the nape on the other side. Look at this.
The
It's in
chaotic
mom mode
scene
right
unfolded
there.
Friday morning, just east of Hartford.
Like, first of all, that's amazing from the mom. But what I'm icing up is not that, because that was absolutely amazing. I'm icing up the people who called in to comment on this and talked about how terrible, because the video goes on later and the mom ends up taking the raccoon and chucking it. You know, this is a raccoon out during the day, y'all. It's got rabies. Just don't even question it. It's got rabies. It's out during the day. Okay. But the people are calling and talking about how the mom should have contained the raccoon and taken it to the doctor so that way it could have been checked for rabies, this and that. You know, man, the people that are calling and saying that stuff.
Don't they have to cut their heads off to check for rabies anyway, or examine their brains or something?
I don't even know, man. Like, but it's
I think
so
they would
stupid.
just kill it at the damn office.
Yeah. Well, who in that moment would think to do that, though? Seriously. The only thing I'm thinking is save my kid and make sure nobody else around is getting hurt, because this thing's out during the day. It's got rabies, period. I'm not taking a chance. And guess what? Even if it didn't, it's not going to hurt you to get a rabies shot. Well, actually, they do hurt a little bit.
Well, what'd she do with the thing afterwards?
She just chucked it across the yard. She gave it a pretty good toss.
Man, like, what, are you supposed to hold on to it until the police get there?
Right.
She already grabbed it by the back of the neck, man. She took a big risk.
So the thing is, though, is like the funny part about this is I have like this almost exact same thing happened to me, and I have it on a nature cam of what I did in this situation. Because you always ask yourself what you do in the situation if that happened, you know. But I actually have like a nature cam of this almost happening to me and what I did. So y'all want to see it?
Yeah, sure.
There you go. That's what I did. That's what I did to the raccoon. That's what I would have done to the raccoon, or felt like I would have done. So just to the people who are calling in and talking shit to this woman, like, that took a lot of guts. And like I said, when you got a kid, man, you kick into parent mode when that kind of stuff happens. That sound right there makes me want to get up and try to save somebody. So for the people who are calling in that I'm sure don't have kids and have never been in a situation like that, ice up.
CK, you got one for us tonight?
Man, I don't.
Good gosh, he's like the least ice up person ever. Icing you? No. What was it? Who was it before? Ice up Cody for fake videos.
Cody's manufacturing his ice up picks. He's like,
I'm gonna ice up. So if you guys are from North Carolina, and you're probably, if you know where Roanoke Rapids, it's like the Northern Virginia side, North Carolina. I'm icing up Cedric Carter in Roanoke Rapids. He asked the police to help him unlock his car. He locked his keys in his car. And then they arrested him for cocaine, crack cocaine, and marijuana. So Cedric Carter locked his keys in his car, then asked the police to help him get the keys out, which they will do a lot of times. I mean, protect and serve. They open his car up. They smell weed. They search the car. He gets busted for crack, cocaine, and marijuana. Cedric Carter, ice up, son. Ice up. That's mine from this one. I saw that today. It made me chuckle.
Ice up.
That's it. That's the C3 Panthers podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Every Tuesday night, we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. We do it with the best fans on YouTube's. Check us out on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher. Support the podcast in all in those ways, just by sharing it, liking it, being a friend of the show. Cody Lack, we are heading into the back end of the season, man. So gotta muster up some wins for the Carolina Panthers, and we'll be back here when?
We'll be back here Friday, every Friday at 7 p.m. for the Friday Free for All, the show for the fans, by the fans, where you can come on the show and cut up with us, man. Talk Panther football, just chill, have a good time, hang out, talk about the matchups. We'll be talking about Baker Mayfield, of course. We're going to be having a bunch of great conversations, so be a part of that show. Come and join us. And then, that's it for me, man. Follow me on Twitter at Cody Lack, CODYLAC. And that's all for your boy.
A man said he might misunderstand ice up. He's gonna have some crystal meth on him, I guess. This dude, Cedric Carter. CK, How can they
Yes,
get
sir.
after you?
You can find me on most social media platforms at Codizzle_Allen. On Twitter is the main location you'll find me posting. But also here Saturday night, we're going to be going back to the Madden simulation. We're going to have Madden simulate what they believe the Panthers' success is going to be in the upcoming matchup. And it's hit or miss. It's not always on point. We were on a good hot streak there for a while. Now we're kind of not. So just come check that out Saturday night at around 9:30 p.m. on this channel.
Greg, what are you guys talking about this week?
Man, last week we started talking about Willow and Game of Thrones and all kinds of good stuff and some finales. Those shows are over, so I don't have a lot to talk about this week. But I actually lost power about midway through the show last week, and I wasn't able to talk Game of Thrones. So we actually pushed that to this week. So I think Cody and Kevin are going to come join us this week, and I'll have the entire series watched by then. So we're doing a big Game of Thrones show this weekend, and then I guess Willow and some news is about the only other thing we're talking about. So come check us out, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. It's Geeks Chasing Squirrels Across the Multiverse.
Fantastic stuff. My name's Tony Dunn. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at @cat_chronicles. Cody Lack, let's get out of here. We'll be back before you know it.
Until next time, C3 Panther Nation, you already know what we're about to do. Keep pounding.